Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. This time I want to talk about the MechFansToys Flame Commander Hot Rod Rodimus combo. And this is actually a really cool figure. I did pick this up from Show Z. I think it's like $43, and I'm gonna have that link down below. Let's get right into this. Here is the box. It's really cool art, just kind of Rodimus just drawn on there. And then another sketch that's not colored in, MS-19. Side shows what the figure looks like, and then the back shows quite a bit. You see the figure, and really I'd say both modes, but not really both modes. And then just all the little accessories and just things that you can do with them. Yeah, pretty cool box. So we'll take a quick look at this guy here, and as you can see, he has some paint right here on the front hood. He's got the orange hood with the red sides, transparent blue, and that actually matches pretty close to what Takara's doing with her Plus line. This yellow piece on the back is plastic. You got some, it's not quite the chromed out looking look to the silver, but it's nice painted silver here on the hubcaps. And that's what it looks like on the bottom. Still a pretty cool looking figure. Got some paint right here on the sides. Definitely looks good. Sometimes these pop out in the back. Anyway, so it looks in the back. Definitely a good looking mode. Go ahead and do some comparisons here. Here he is next to, this is official Hasbro, and this is MechFansToys Jeep. And there's that. And I know the scale of this guy never really works with anything, but I think that works okay. Definitely. An Iron Trans Prowl for comparison. Looks pretty good. That'll work for me. Next to a G1 Hot Rod. Works fine. For me, scale-wise, well, I mean, aesthetic-wise, I actually like the look of this way better. When you look at these guys, I like this just is much better. And of course, see these third-party legends are pretty close to Masterpiece, so I like to show next to the Masterpiece. And of course, this looks good. Not quite as good in this mode as, say, the Masterpiece, and a couple of things that would be like a little bit of kind of, it's not that clean there, but it's a lot more clean here. The color's more uniform, where this kind of has some color breakup to it. But I do want to point out that this color here is what I've kind of expected to see, and this is more of a red, so orangish red. I'm not put off by it, it's just, this is kind of what I expected, and this is kind of what I got, so we're kind of in the middle. Let's go ahead and transform this guy into his Winnebago mode. So we're going to just disconnect this back piece right here. Yeah, that'll pop back on. Those pieces tab in really, really tight. All right, so with that back piece back on there, we're going to basically make his legs back into the other mode. So we're gonna pull this out and get them almost into robot mode here. So there's that. Fold this in. Fold that to the back. Same thing on the other side. We're going to hinge, put that wheel down, hinge this out. Fold this piece in, fold this over the top, and then it shows in the instructions we're going to go this direction with it, and we got to make sure that we are facing these pieces upward. So you got those pipes facing upward, everything lined up just like so. And then on this, these pieces here need to be folded in like that so that it all works. Yeah, kind of a strange look to it. Let's go ahead and prep this trailer. Flip these side pieces up. We're gonna, I guess you don't really have to open that for it. You need to lift this out. And then these side pieces fold down, but then you can clip him in to here, like so. He fits in just fine. That piece comes down, and then we're gonna lock it all in place. That. They look like they should. Yeah, there they go. To fold the feet down and then lock that in. So now it's locked in. I'm gonna fold these pieces down on both sides, and you have it in his Winnebago mode. It rolls okay. This mode, you have storage for the Target Master, which is pretty cool. We're going to take a look at that here in a little bit more in depth. You got the flame on the side like you should. Lots of paint, orange plastic, paint. So, looks like a Winnebago mode as it should. Let's see what the G1 comparison looks like. Here he is compared to the G1 version. And just out of curiosity, I was like, hey, will this fit right here? And well, it'll sort of fit. That's not what that hole's for. That hole's for is spoiler piece, but anyway. Have a look at him from the front. And complete side to side. And this does look formed different. It looks like shorter, like a squeezed version of this guy. So, yeah. So, taking him from his Space Winnebago mode into robot mode, we're going to disconnect that. We're going to make sure this is disconnected at the bottom. We have to flip out these lower pieces and then remove him gently. Remember, if you're pulling on something too hard, you probably haven't disconnected everything properly. So, and I find that with this guy, there's a lot of little things connecting him. So, that's strange. It pops out usually pretty easy. There he goes. Okay, so this is what you're kind of left with. So the legs are pretty much done. We're going to flip this back piece around, fold it up, and then we're going to get that out of the way. Now, we're going to work on the arms. We're going to fold these pieces down, but they're going to have to come back. And we're going to flip this head out, and the chest needs to come down. Okay, there. That works. The chest is going to come down, and oddly enough, the way the chest works, you have to work these pieces in. Now this is one of those things that these side pieces have to get moved to go past. So I don't like that. It doesn't fit just right. Maybe there's like an angle I'm going wrong, but it doesn't fit just right. Pull that head out. There. Get the arms lined up just right. Close the back pieces up. And at this point, you want to tuck that engine back in. So the engine kind of goes where the head goes, in a way. And all that tabs in great together. Move the legs around. Fix those feet. Yeah, there are these little heel spurs in the back right here. You want to make sure you get those down all the way, and they may pop the foot off. So that is one thing I noticed. The foot pops off when I try to put the force to get the heel spur down. So that's one issue, but now he stands just fine. Well, more or less. And he looks really good. So we're going to start looking at his face. He has his eyes painted really well in there, if you can see that. And then there's paint right here on his head, paint on his face, paint on his chest, paint right here, and some really glossy paint on the headlights. Then down, same stuff that kind of was showing before. He cleans up okay in the back, except for kind of some wheels right there, but overall, pretty clean on the back. And with these pieces here, I don't know, they kind of, these back pieces were kind of flopped out when I first got it too, so maybe that's a little bit of kibble you got to deal with. But other than that, he looks pretty clean. Articulation, head side to side, little bit up and nothing down. Arms, the shoulder articulation is terrible. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I just can't get it much of anything out of that shoulder. That's it. You do have the bicep swivel, you do have the 90, and move the hand, waist swivel a bit. I mean, it's sort of 360, but the backpack gets in the way. You got a 90. You don't have to mess with hip flaps so much. 90 to the back. Thigh swivel. A little bit past 90. You almost have a double joint there, but that's not really what it's for. It's a shin joint. And you have the ankle rocker, which is acceptable, and an ankle tilt, and a fall off. They have the feet doing a lot of things, and the way it clips in is just kind of a pain. So anyway, there he is, just standing, looking good. Here is his target master now. We're going to look at him real quick. It looks pretty good on his face. Nice face paint. A little paint right here. He looks all right. I don't really have any qualms with him. He just looks like a target master. And legs have a 90. Arms move and that's it. Head moves a little bit. And that's it, really. You can do the splits, I guess. But the big thing in this is how it turns into a gun. The typical way, these turn into a gun. Like so. The thing about this is you have to kind of push this in right here to get that to stick. And then he has his target master for a gun. Works pretty good, and he looks good with it. I'm going to get into some comparisons. You can flip these around either way you want. However you think it looks the best. It's up to you. And let's get everything in perspective here. All right, so here he is next to Masterpiece MP09, to him, and to what's going on with the good old hoodlum with MechFansToys. And if you can see them, and let's move the box so there's not so much red, and you can see them a little better. But yeah, this looks pretty good as a character, and you know, for so small, and I just think he looks all right. He does look all right. I think compared to these guys, his legs just look really long, but I have a fix for that. I'll show you here in just a little bit when I show you the accessories. Here he is next to Magic Square Prime, and we're next to the New Age Megatron. A little bit taller than both of those, but I'm okay with that. Here he is next to MechFansToys, their own mold of Springer, and MechFansToys KO oversized of the DX9 version of Trifleden? Yeah, that's the cup. So that's kind of what you'd look for if you're putting together a movie, 1986 movie cast. All right, so here's a little thing I found we can do to shorten those legs. You can move that wheel out of the way. Yeah, the foot keeps popping off. And then you can move this back like so, and then put that knee forward. So that shortens his leg considerably, but you'll have this hanging out. I don't know a way around having that hanging out, so we'll do the same over here. And I don't know if this was not in the instructions, so this is just like fan mode. And it kind of shortens them a bit, but you have those wheels hanging out. Oh, let's get that more accurate. And so the reason I even point this out, that it's an option, which is silly in a way, I guess, and that makes it hard for him to stand. Anyway, point this out as an option because I think it scales better with these guys. So, I don't know. It's a thing. Maybe there's something else I can do with these wheels. No, I can't. If you can, I always thought to be like a gimmick, like you can make them shorter, and I thought I found it, but I guess not. Let's show off the rest of the accessories. He gets a smaller one of these, which is basically that much smaller, if you want to call them hot rod, as I guess. And if you look at the back here, when you open this up, open that up, there's a screw to unscrew it, and then just screw that into the new one. There it is. I'm not going to bother with that because I like the bigger one myself, so it works for me. You also get a matrix, so we can open up his matrix. He can hold it if you want. He can use his flexibility here and hold the matrix. Let's see if we can do that real quick. Yeah, there he is. Trying to open it up. And then we're going to open up his chest cavity here. Now, the tricky part, like during the transformation, is getting these pieces here out. I guess open up like that. That's probably the best way to do it. And then you can put his matrix in there. And then kind of move all those pieces past it. There we go. And there it is. So he has his matrix now in his chest. Awesome. Let's look at this pie knife. A pie cutter now. It's a spinning blade. You just slide it on his hand and he has his spinning blade. And then of course he has his two guns, which are two separate guns, and he holds both of them, but you can combine them, like usual, into a super mega gun, if that's what you want to do with him. And he'll hold that just fine. And he'll hold both of them just fine. And he'll cut your pizza at the same time. Now we have these leg pieces, and you have to make sure that they're lined up right. You got the right one for the right side. And we're going to pop them on so that you can make him look like the Japanese issue versus the US issue. And that is, I guess, an issue, so they have addressed the issue. And there he is, all accessoried up. Looks good. And he has his gunning station, just like in G1. This little piece here extends, and make sure that you fold down those pieces so you don't break them when you're transforming it. But yeah, pretty simple gunner station. And here it is next to the G1 in his gunning station. Yeah, pretty similar. Very similar. It's come with this strange little guy. Not sure why MechFansToys does this, but you get this little guy here, and he kind of transforms into sort of a bit of a mech figure, I guess. And a head should come out of here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's like a MechFansToys thing. Not sure what it's all about, but there it is. So this is the MechFansToys Flame Commander, the MS-19, and I think he's a really cool looking figure, cool version of Rodimus. I think that all the modes look great. Couple of downsides on him, of course. I think his legs are just too long, and I do think his shoulders have some issues. The feet like to pop off. So really, that's the only issues. They've worked in so much with this guy, and with an original mold for MechFansToys. You know, they're not just copying Magic Square and Unique Toys, or not Unique Toys, but Magic Square and New Age, yeah. They're making their own stuff, and really that's where I want to see MechFansToys. I think they shine with that. They've made several figures of their own that are great. I think this is one that's really great. A couple of minor issues are not really that big of a deal to me. You can get yours at Show Z, 43 bucks, and all the accessories and everything it comes with. And really, you can look at them as getting a hot rod in a Rodimus. Pretty good deal. Like, subscribe. Todd Hanger out.